안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Hello, my name is Edward, and this is Robert.
네.
So Robert has a Korean school teaching foreigners who want to learn Korean, and I have studied at Robert's school. Today we're going to give beginner learners their first lesson on the Korean alphabet. So we encourage students to use a textbook to follow along. You can choose your own textbook. We are kind of following along with the Active Korean series from Seoul National University.
네.
So that would go well with the lessons that we've prepared. You can also use the textbooks from Sogan University or any textbook you can get your hands on.
네.
Okay. So today we are going to look at the Korean alphabet, how to make some syllables and characters in Korean.
네.
So why don't we look at an example of a word in Korean here.
네.
So we've got a picture here of an umbrella. Of course, umbrella in Korean is not umbrella.
No.
No. So how would we say this word?
우산.
우산. Okay. So if I hear 우산, it sounds to me like two syllables. And if I look at how it's written in Korean,
네.
I have two characters.
Right.
So our alphabet up here, basically we use these consonants and vowels to build syllables or characters. So in this case, again, 우산. Okay, so together, this means umbrella.
네.
Okay. So if I see this character or this syllable,
네.
it always has the same sound, correct?
Right. This vowel, 우,
우.
it's always 우.
Okay. So a little easier than English, right? The vowels in Korean, they always have the same sound.
네.
So this is always 우.
네.
Okay.
그리고 some syllables is just one consonant, one vowel.
Mm-hmm.
Some has one consonant, one vowel, another consonant down there.
Okay. So
Maybe you can.
we need at least two letters
네.
or two letters from the alphabet to build a syllable.
네.
In this case, we only have two, so one consonant and one vowel. In san, we have 1, 2, 3. So
네.
one consonant, one vowel, one consonant.
네.
Okay. Robert, could you maybe show us another word that almost looks the same?
네.
So maybe the second largest city in Korea,
부산.
Busan.
네.
So here's our word Busan. We're just going to change one letter to make Busan.
네.
And what would that look like?
This one.
Bu.
네. 부.
Okay.
부산.
So instead of the first syllable being U, we've changed it to Bu.
네.
And if you'll notice, only one thing has changed. The top consonant here.
네.
So instead of giving us U, we have more of a B sound, Bu. Okay. And the second syllable stays the same. Second
네.
character stays the same. Okay. Want to look at one more example?
네.
Okay, so before we introduce the letters from the Korean alphabet,
네.
Busan was an example of a word with two syllables. Now we have, it looks like a laptop computer to me.
네.
How would we say laptop in Korean?
노트북.
Notebook. So notebook has a little bit of a different meaning. I guess we can say notebook for a laptop in English too. In this case, notebook maybe in English is two syllables.
네.
In Korean, we get an extra syllable, notebook.
네.
So 1, 2, 3. So I can deduce that this is no to book.
네.
Okay. So in our first character, in our first syllable, how many letters are we dealing with?
This one.
Mm-hmm.
하나, 둘.
2.
네.
That gives us no.
네.
Second one,
하나, 둘.
again 2. That gives us t.
네. 하나, 둘, 셋.
Okay. So 3 in the third syllable, book. Okay. Notebook.
그리고 some syllables will have even 4.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, even have 5.
Right. So we can use up to 5 consonants and vowels to make one syllable, one character in Korean.
네.
Okay.
I say 네 a lot.
which
That's-
means yes.
네.
So he is agreeing with me.
네.
So far, he's agreeing with me. Okay, so
네.
why don't we go over our consonants first?
네. 여기에 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열,
Mhm.
and 14 consonants there.
Okay, so we have 10 on our first line.
네. 그리고 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, the basic, 6 basic vowels.
Okay,
and then 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 4 more.
okay.
그래서 to do the sounds value of the consonants, maybe let's have this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to use the ah vowel.
Right.
So this vowel, this
It's always ah.
always the same sound,
네.
always the ah sound. Kind of
네.
sounds like AH in English, right?
네.
I'm opening my mouth, ah.
Ah.
Right.
ah.
So again, up here, so we had our 10 consonants on the first line,
Mhm.
and then kind of 4 extra consonants, which we'll look at. These are all related,
Right.
just like our vowels down here.
Mm.
So we've got 6 on the first line and 4 on the bottom line. Again, these are all kind of related pairs.
네.
So, okay, let's look at ah
네.
and maybe pair it with some consonants.
Right. 그리고 when you write a syllable,
Mm-hmm.
you write the consonant first always.
Okay,
그래서 this time just let's do this one first.
okay,
And then we can do this one, this one, this one, this one.
okay,
So this one, the M.
right. So
Okay.
characters in Korean will always start with a consonant.
네.
Okay, so we never have a vowel coming first.
No.
All right. So this is like the equivalent of the M sound.
Mhm.
Okay, so if we put our M sound with ah,
네. 그러면 마.
ma, ma. Okay.
그래서 그리고 그리고 this is M.
Mhm.
근데 이거 그래서 마. 그리고 이거를 하나, 둘, 셋 이렇게 써요. Left to right,
Mhm.
top to bottom.
Okay.
하나, 둘 이렇게. 그리고 top to bottom again.
Right. So there is a specific stroke order that we should follow, especially when you're just learning the Korean alphabet.
네.
So in the case of the M sound, 1, 2, 3. And the rule is left to right, top to bottom.
네.
So 1, 2, 3.
네.
For the ah vowel sound, 1, 2.
네. 그리고 여기 이렇게 괜찮아요.
Okay.
요것도 괜찮아요.
Right. So if these lines intersect, that's okay.
Mm.
If there's a little space, that's okay.
네.
Anybody would be able to read either one of these, right?
네.
Okay.
그리고 여기도 이렇게 괜찮아요.
Okay. So again, even with the vowels, it's okay if your strokes are not perfect.
Right.
We'll still be able to read them. Korean handwriting
네.
changes from person to person.
네.
But it's important, I think, especially for beginners, to learn the stroke order.
네.
Right.
Later on 뭐 이거 괜찮아요.
Right.
근데 지금은 이렇게 이게 좋아요.
Right.
네.
All right. So as you get more comfortable, you can
네.
you can change them to what you're comfortable with.
네.
But
그리고 they can see 이렇게.
Mhm.
이것도 괜찮아요. 이것도 괜찮아요.
right,
All of them. M.
right. And all of them give us the same syllable. Ma,
네.
ma, 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 ma.
네.
Right?
네.
Okay.
다음.
So let's look at maybe a different consonant.
네.
Again, this was our M sound.
네. 그다음에 요거 먼저 할게요.
Okay.
요거. 이거는 이렇게 half 같아요.
Yeah. So this consonant kind of looks like half of the M sound, and we just get. Would you give one stroke?
One stroke.
Okay. So to start up here, one stroke. What does this give us?
So
When
let's
paired
have-
with ah,
네. 그러면 나.
na,
나.
na.
그래서 요것도 괜찮아요. 이렇게 해도 괜찮아요.
Right. Again, if there's a space here, that's all right. If there's no space, that's all right as well.
네.
We still get the same sound.
네.
So here we had ma.
Mm.
Down here, now we have na.
네.
So this is kind of like the N N sound in
네,
English.
네. 그래서 여기에 그리고 요거 쓸 때 이렇게 트라이앵글 생각하면 좋아요.
Right.
좀 길게.
Yeah. So when you're practicing making Korean characters, instead of thinking of building the characters in a box or a square,
네,
kind of helps to think of it in a triangle instead.
네,
Right. So in this case, we
Okay.
can imagine a triangle around here. And that's what we're trying to fit our character into.
네. 그래서 여기에 if we had one more consonant down here,
Yep.
그러면 like this. 그러면 요건 약간 짧아요.
Okay.
Shorter,
Yep.
a little bit. Same consonant, then none.
Nan.
Yeah,
Right.
none.
So like we saw with the example of usan,
네,
u was just two letters together to
네.
make a vowel, and san was three.
네,
So here is na, 1, 2. Nan, we add another N sound at the end. So we have a 3-letter
네.
syllable.
네. 그래서 이렇게 요거는 항상 이 밑에.
Right.
그러니까 영어에는 뭐 it goes this way, right?
Yeah.
근데 한국말에는 이게 여기로 가요.
Right. So English is always left to right. In Korean, left to right and top to bottom.
네.
So here we have consonant, vowel.
네.
The next consonant goes under the vowel.
네, that's completed one syllable.
Right. You'll never have 1, 2, 3.
No,
Right.
없어요.
Right.
그러니까 later we can do this combination vowel.
Okay.
It's kind of a little different, but usually down there.
Yeah. So this is a combination vowel that we haven't put up here. We're going to look at that later.
네.
But so that could come next to this
여기,
to be
this line.
right.
네.
Okay.
근데 여기는 항상 consonant 여기 down.
Right. So the consonant always goes under when it's following the vowel. Okay. So far we have looked at, again, the M sound and the N sound. So we have ma here, we had na below. Let's look at another
네.
consonant.
자, 그러면 이거 해요.
Okay, so we're going to the first one. And what does that give us?
그래서 let's have that one with vowel 아,
Mm-hmm.
가,
Ga. Ga.
가.
Ga.
근데 I hear it sounds like sometimes K, sometimes G from my student.
Yeah,
They actually, we Korean people, we don't know that.
right.
We do it just, we don't know it.
Yeah. So it helps, I think, some learners
네.
to think of an equivalent in English. So
네.
in this case, K or a G,
네.
but it's not quite K and it's not
No.
quite G. And for Koreans, that doesn't matter, right?
Right.
So
Oh.
maybe depending on placement
네.
of this consonant, we'll hear a different sound, right? So some people, if I say ga, you might hear more of a K, you might hear more of a G. But again, depending on placement,
네.
that could affect it as well. So Robert, can you say this
네.
this word here?
가가.
Kaga.
Do they sound different?
To me, they sound a little different. To me, it sounds like more of a K sound
네.
and more of a G sound here. So kaga. But to Koreans,
The same.
same thing. Doesn't matter, right?
네.
So you don't have to worry too much about exact pronunciation,
no.
whether you're using a G or a K.
네.
In Korean, this is the combination GK
네.
sound.
그래서 이게 it's between two vowels.
Yep.
그러면 just do this one.
Okay,
그리고 이건 nothing here.
right,
그러면 K. But
right,
please don't worry about it.
right. So again, placement. Here we're between two vowels, so it sounds maybe more like a G.
네.
And our first consonant sounds more like a K because
네.
it's at the front of the word
네.
and it's not between two vowels.
Right.
Okay.
So 가, 가.
Ka.
If I say them slow, same.
Right,
Slow, same. 가, 가,
right,
가가. 이렇게.
right. And
네.
we don't have to worry about this too much, right?
No, no.
Okay.
그래서 여기 if we had down here 좀 각,
Kak.
각,
Kak.
각.
Kak.
Sounds like K?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say so. Again,
Yeah.
if it comes at the end of the syllable, it sounds more like a K again.
네.
But if we were to put a vowel on the other side,
Mm.
it would turn into more of a G sound.
네.
Right?
그리고 이거 괜찮아요.
So this is
when
okay?
it's from a machine, 그럼 you will see this one.
Right.
A little bit 그러니까 it's from calligraphy.
Okay. All right, so this is kind of the printed style.
네.
And this would be, well, this looks quite block as well. This looks like
네.
it could be printed as well.
네.
What about
그래서
some handwritten versions of?
핸드리튼 뭐 이렇게 쓰는 사람도 있고 all different.
Right.
음.
So everybody has their own style. So sometimes it's more square, sometimes it's more like a triangle, sometimes
네.
it's rounder on the edge.
네.
Okay. Okay.
그다음에 요거 would you like to do this now or?
Sure, we
네,
might
네.
as well. So we've just done,
네.
like we said, this is kind of a K and a G mixed sound. Now, we said there are some 4 special consonants. So
네.
this one goes with our KG sound, but in this case,
이거는 always K예요.
always K. So this is a stronger version, kind
네.
of, right?
네. The 카.
Ka,
이건 always 카.
right?
카.
So there's
이거는-
no question here. This is
Right.
always ka.
네.
Okay.
그리고 요것은 네. 다.
Da,
Yeah. Same thing again. 다다.
da.
Yeah. So 이거는
Right.
다.
Again, based on the placement, you might hear more of a T sound, more of a D sound.
네.
Robert, can you say these 2 syllables together?
다다.
Tada.
다다.
So I think to me, it sounds like more of a T, more of a D. So again, depending on placement, and if it's between 2 vowels, you might hear a D, you might hear a T.
네.
Okay. But this,
그래서
we don't have to worry about this either, right?
No,
To
please.
Koreans, they don't think T and D.
Right.
It's just always the same syllable.
You might see this
Consonant,
sign
sorry.
of a city in Korea.
Yeah. Daegu?
Yeah. It's the same city.
Right. Right.
대구.
Right. So Daegu would be written with this consonant.
네.
But again, sometimes when they change it to English, you see it spelt with a T or with a D.
네.
Okay.
그래서 그리고 여기도 same extra stroke on it. 그러면 이거는 항상 always yeah.
Okay. So just same case as here, we have 1 extra stroke that always gives us a K.
네.
Here, instead of a T or a D, one extra stroke gives us T every time. So da, and this would be more of ta,
네.
right?
다.
Ta.
다.
Okay.
다음
How about, here's a little bit of a tricky one.
네. 이거는 이제 2 가지로 돼요.
Right. So 2 sounds,
네.
R and an L.
네. 네. 그다음에 이렇게.
Okay.
그러면 이거는 라.
Ra.
라.
Ra.
네. 라. 라.
Ra.
네.
So in this case, it's not quite R, it's not quite L, but in some cases it's more like R,
네.
in some cases it's more like L.
네.
So when it's at the start of a syllable,
네.
it's closer to R. So again, ra, right?
네.
And how about down here?
말.
Mal,
말.
mal.
So we did 마. 말. 말. 말.
Mal. So at the end of the syllable, it takes on more of an L sound. Okay. So ra and mal.
말.
Right.
그러니까 말. 그래서 I think in English when you say L, 말 like a bill,
Yeah. So
tongue.
you can feel the placement of your tongue. So if I say mal,
네.
yeah, I feel my tongue goes up in my
네.
mouth, right?
Touch the roof. more,
Right.
I think.
And you can feel in your mouth a different movement, right? So ra,
라.
ra.
라.
You don't feel the same. Your tongue doesn't go to the top. It
No.
starts and goes
라.
down.
라. Just rolling.
Right.
라. 말.
Right.
말이 뭐예요?
Mal could be a horse.
네.
It could also be a word.
네.
Yeah. Or a language.
Language.
Yeah.
한국말.
한국말, right.
네.
So we had ma here.
네.
So just adding the real, the RL sound, gives us a different word.
네.
Right? And Robert, what would ma be?
마는 it can mean many different things.
Okay.
can mean horse as well when it's a Chinese character.
Okay.
이거예요. 이거. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. 다시 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
네? Chinese character.
Right. So
마.
yeah. So some words in Korean come from Chinese, from Chinese characters.
네.
So horse in Korean
Pure
would
Korean.
be pure
말.
Korean mal,
음.
but from Chinese ma.
네.
Okay. Okay. So we are doing pretty well here. Should we look at a couple
네.
more examples?
네. 자, 이거는
We saw before Busan,
음.
like we said, the second largest city in Korea.
네.
So it's the same consonant sound.
네. 바.
Ba.
네. 바.
Ba. So
바.
again, this is a bit of a special case, right? So it could be a P or a B,
네.
depending on placement.
네. 바바.
Pa-ba.
바바.
So maybe more of a P, more of a B sound
네.
here. Okay.
네. I didn't know that until I started my Korean class.
Right. Right. Yeah, but again, it's only if you compare it to English that you run into this problem,
네.
right?
네.
So for Koreans, again, Koreans don't worry about this.
네. 괜찮아요. 바바, 파파 괜찮아요.
Right.
네. You will get there.
Yeah.
Eventually.
So same thing when you see Busan, the city written in English,
네.
sometimes you see it B-U-S-A-N,
Yes.
sometimes P-U-S-A-N.
네. 네.
Maybe it just helps to recognize that it's the same thing.
네.
Okay, so
아,
in this
그리고
case though,
maybe we can have one more.
oh sure,
그럼 밥, 밥이 뭐예요?
cooked rice
네.
or food, right? Or
네.
yeah.
meal.
So again, takes on a bit of a different sound.
네.
밥.
네.
At
밥.
the end, I'd say it sounds more like a P,
네. 밥.
right? But we do have a stronger version.
아, 네. 이거는 이제 a little different from these guys.
Okay,
근데
it's not
파.
pa.
음.
Pa. It's not
네,
just the
항상-
extra stroke, right?
Right.
So, but it's always P.
네, always P. 파.
Pa.
다음 이거는 두 개예요.
Mhm.
그래서 이건 사.
Sa.
근데 이건 we didn't do this vowel yet. 근데 이예요. 이.
Right. But this vowel here is always the E sound.
many E's.
Right.
그럴 때는 항상 이건 SH예요.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's consonant down there or not. 치.
So this consonant, again, depending on which vowel it is placed next to,
네.
it has a bit of a different sound. So in this case, it's sa.
네.
Sounds just more like an S.
네.
But-
사.
If it's next to the E sound, it becomes more SH. So
시.
she.
그래서 여기 네. 쓰면 심.
Shim.
심.
Shim. Right. We have our M consonant at the end. Still SH sound.
네.
Shim.
네.
Okay.
요거
Okay.
요것도-
Another special one.
네. 이렇게 해야지.
So students might recognize, again, when we showed you the word usan for umbrella, this was the first consonant. In that case, it was coming before the u vowel, and it had no sound.
No sound.
So when you're writing in Korean,
네.
you always have to put a consonant first.
네.
But if it's a vowel sound that comes first, the consonant has no sound at all.
네.
Okay.
그래서 이거는 그냥 아.
Ah.
아. 여기는 이제 가, 강.
Kang.
Mm.
So the NG sound, when it comes at the end of the syllable or at the end of the character, it takes on this
네.
NG sound.
네, 강.
Right.
강 알아요? 강.
Kang River,
river.
right?
네, 강.
So the Han River in Seoul that runs through a lot of Korea actually is the Hangang.
네, 한강. 강.
And I could never write just the vowel like that. I need
No.
this consonant here,
네.
right?
강. 그래서 그다음에 이거는 이렇게 해도 돼요.
Mm-hmm.
또는 이렇게 해도 돼요.
Right.
이건 프린팅.
Right. So again, our consonant, this is the same character, same syllable, 자, 자, but
자.
more handwritten and more printed.
네, 자자, 자자.
자자.
네, 그래서 이것도 again.
Right. Sometimes more of a ch sound, a ch, sometimes more of just a j.
네.
자. Okay.
자.
Now we have a stronger version of this. Just adding one stroke.
네, or 이것도 괜찮아요.
Right.
or 이것도 괜찮아요.
Right.
이것도 괜찮아요. 이것도 괜찮아요.
Right. So again, all of these give us the same sounds. So you can write it like this, you can write it like this, or like this. This is always the ch sound.
네,
and it's a
always.
stronger 차.
네,
Right.
차, 차,
차.
차. 네. 다음 이것도 이렇게 써도 돼요. 이렇게 해도 돼요. 그다음에 이렇게 해도 돼요.
Right.
It's all same.
Right. So again, many ways to write these characters or these letters.
하.
Ha. This would be the equivalent of the H in English.
네.
Ha.
네. 그래서 sometimes my students ask me, how come there are two O's there?
Yeah.
네.
Right. So it can look confusing, especially if you're only used to seeing it written one way.
네.
It can confuse you. So to look at this says 좋아요.
네.
Yeah.
여기 we didn't do this vowel yet.
Right.
It's O, the long horizontal vowel there. 이거는 it's not O. 이거는 이거야. H
Right.
consonant H.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the equivalent of kind of like the J-O-H.
네.
Right. But in this case, I would not really pronounce
No.
the H sound. So I would not say 좋아요. I would just say 좋아요.
네. 그래서 이거는 it's like English, I think.
Right.
Sometimes.
So sometimes it's silent, even if it's written. Just like in English, the word hour,
네.
we don't pronounce it hour,
네.
right? So just like in English, in Korean as well, sometimes we don't
네.
pronounce what is written.
네. 그래서 이거는 그냥 하.
Ha,
하.
ha. Okay. All right. Now, Robert, I don't know if this would help students, but I've heard that maybe with the H sound
네.
and the 4 on the bottom,
네.
it's kind of the aspirated sound,
네,
right?
맞아요. 네.
So ga and ka, and da and ta, ba and pa, ja and cha,
네.
and ha.
네.
All of these you can kind of feel
네.
you're putting out air.
네, 맞아요.
Okay.
그래서 아마 여기까지 하고 the next video에서 vowel
Right.
하죠.
So we've covered the consonants. We've looked
네.
at a couple of vowels, and maybe in the next video we'll go through the rest of the vowels for you.